just wanted to do a quick review of the Crimson Trace Laser Guard Pro for the Smith&Wesson Shield. I was at Clyde Armory here in town a few months ago, maybe about 4 months ago. I wasn't even looking for a gun. I didn't have a Smith&Wesson Shield. I've had one before and I liked it. I just never really carried it, so I had traded it off long ago. And I was looking on the shelf and I saw these sitting there. And I hadn't really paid much attention to these. I think I'd seen them in the background in places, but I just never paid attention to the fact that they'd come out for the Shield and I think the Mini Glock. But basically, it's a light laser combo with a pressure pad, and it's very small. It doesn't really add any bulk. I mean, you're looking at that and you say, oh, it's clearly adding some bulk. But if you really look at the size of the gun and where it adds the size, that's not really a place that affects your carry of the gun. This is something that's in the waistband. It's not, it's basically the same width as the slide already. And it's going to be in a part of the holster in the inside the waistband setup that really doesn't affect the carryability of the gun. The fact that it's got a grip switch, so you don't have to fiddle with the buttons and things like that, like on a lot of other combinations, just made it's instinctive. You just grab the gun, and you can have the gun out, but if you need to shine the light, you just squeeze the gun, and it's just a really nice setup. It's programmable like a lot of them. You can change it so you can just have the light come on, just have the laser come on, whatever. You just press the little button here and hold it down, and you can cycle through the modes. It's pretty simple. It cost $187, which, when you really think about it, is not a bad deal, because Crimson Trace, I've had Crimson Trace products for probably maybe 15, 20 years at this point. Oh, God. Yeah, at least since the late 90s. And they have always been very reliable, very sturdy, and very well engineered in general. But when I looked at this, I noticed that it actually came with a holster. And I am a sucker for this, because it's a Blade Tech holster. I mean, it's not a fancy Blade Tech holster. It's just plastic. Yeah, it's got a little clip here. It's not the best clip in the world. But basically, this light laser combo comes with its own holster. So you don't have to wait 2 months or maybe forever, because a lot of these combos may not even have holsters available for them. I've got a Steiner D-ball that I keep on my FNX Tactical. I just never have been able to find a good holster for it. I mean, I'm not looking for an inside the waistband holster, obviously, but just a good holster that I could fit that thing in. I've ended up having to get a crappy eBay nylon holster for it. This thing here comes with its own holster. Problem solved. Now, I will say that I've got a holster on order from J&M Custom Kydex. I actually got an outside the waistband holster that's coming in. But the fact that this was a plug and play, you put the thing on, get it zeroed, and put it on your Smith, you're ready to go. You don't have to sit there and carry it in your pocket and pray you don't shoot your foot off in the meantime, or basically just have to set it on the bedstand. Anyway. So it's a really good bargain when you think about it. Now, anybody who's watched my channel probably has seen this gun before. This is my old Smith & Wesson J-frame. This has been my carry gun for years, as you can pretty much tell from the condition of it. But I did a little review for the Laser Max, and I really like that. It's a setup where you pretty much have to press the button here. You don't have a grip switch now. And I've got Crimson Trace laser grips on here, which I think should be required by law to be on all J-frames. But this has been my carry gun for years, and it still is. I mean, this is a gun that I can easily drop in my pocket at any time. It also came with its own holster from Laser Max, which was, again, a nice feature, and they seem to be addressing this stuff up front, knowing these are going to be issues. But anyway, this Crimson Trace, I've had it for, like I said, I didn't even have the gun. I bought the gun because of the Crimson Trace laser grip setup. That's how impressed I was with it. And it came with a battery. I attached it. It fits on with these little screws here. And I put it on. It zeroed quite easily with an included tool. And I have been shooting this ever since. And it has never needed to be re-zeroed. I zeroed it at a simple 25-foot zero, and I shoot steel plates with it all the time. Now, I will say this. I'm not one of these people. Sometimes one of the objections to lasers is that you get used to it and it might go dead, or just other kind of ridiculous objections to it. You don't use the laser during the day, and that's one of the reasons why I always get the red laser. The red laser lasts a lot longer than the green laser. The green laser, to me, it's just not that. I don't really see it as an important feature. I like red lasers because I'd rather have longer battery life, especially useful when you're talking about one that has a light laser combo. You're running off one battery. You want to do everything you can to keep it running. But when it gets cloudy or something like that, and you want to confirm that the gun is still shooting to zero, it's handy to shoot. And I've been shooting plates and all sorts of other things and reconfirming zero with this thing, and it holds zero. It has not moved, and I've probably shot a solid 600 rounds through it since this was, I guess, during the history of the gun. The gun works perfectly, and this is a killer combination. In fact, I hate to say it, for years and years I've told everybody, you just need a J-frame. You just need a J-frame. And, I've got all the guns that everybody else has got. I've got a Glock, and everybody says you should carry a Glock and all this other stuff. And I like Glocks, don't get me wrong. But the gun is big. And unless you're the kind of guy who either, you're a detective or you're a police officer or something like this, are you really going to carry this thing all the time? Now, if you're the kind of person who can't carry at work or can't carry around work, and you're really only carrying on the weekend and when you go get some groceries at night, then, more power to you. Carry a Desert Eagle, carry whatever you want. But realistically speaking, this is a pretty large handgun to be carrying. So I've always liked the J-frame because you can just drop it in your pocket, and it doesn't require special holsters. I mean, even if you didn't have this holster, this can be safely carried. Well, so for years and years, I've always been a huge proponent of the J-frame, and I still am. But I've got to say, this combination here is so handy. It's so small and trim. I mean, and with the light laser combination, it's still small and trim. This is really I'm starting to carry this. Now, am I carrying it during the summer as much? No, but this is something that I'm starting to carry on weekends and after work and things like that, because really, if you're out and it's dark and you're going to be in a place, this is an easier gun to shoot than a J-frame, there's no doubt. And now that I've got this instinctive light laser combination here, it really makes it a much harder choice, because this is a light gun and it is an easy gun to carry. Again, the Crimson Trace setup has been working perfectly. It hasn't given me any trouble whatsoever. I really don't foresee it giving me any trouble because I've always had very good luck with Crimson Trace. We know Smith & Wesson is now the owner of Crimson Trace, so I think they're integrating. I saw where they were integrating one of these lasers into the Shield, which is obviously the way to go. I did not see where they were integrating a light and laser into the gun. And I won't be getting rid of this until I see something like that. Again, really not much else to say about it other than, I have read, if you are just dedicated to your Glock 19, I have read that they're coming out with one of these. Smith & Wesson, they're not imbeciles. They know that this is the gun to beat, and why wouldn't you come out with one for this? Now, I know they make one for the Glock 42, 43, but they're coming out with one for this too. And I tell you, if you're one of these guys that's like, I can only have one gun, and I worship this one gun, and I worship at the feet of Gaston Glock, well, I can tell you, I would probably consider getting one of these, or getting one of these Crimson Trace setups, because that's really going to make all the. You're basically done at that point. If you're going to carry that all the time, and you've got the Crimson Trace Laser Guard Pro on there, you've really covered all your bases. So anyway, I'll talk to you later.